Population flags.
What are the population flags that we have?
Full analysis set flag.
Okay.
Safety analysis flag.
Okay.
ITTF parental to treatment.
Okay.
Per protocol flag. Completers flag. Then recommendation development flags.
When a subject is going to satisfy a full safety analysis flag,
Adverse event.
When it has taken at least one treatment.
so we need at least one treatment dose. What about the enrollment flag? Enrollment flag.
He submitted the informed consent.
Okay. How we can write the algorithm, SAS algorithm for that one?
If DS term is informed consent obtained and DS STDDC not missing.
And DS category.
Protocol milestone.
Then which subject is going to be RE and FL is equal to Y?
If DS term is randomized, DS STDDC not missing.
Okay.
DS cat is again protocol milestones.
What about the completers flag?
Completed the treatment. DS term is follow-up. So
What is that follow?
DS term is, DS term completed
Okay.
and DS STDDC not missing.
Okay.
Cat is disposition event.
Then which subject is per protocol?
Which is present in DM and not present in DM.
Very good. If subjects are present in the DM, it is not present in that
DV.
which data set?
DM.
DB data set. Then we can say it as an A.
Per protocol completed successfully.
Without any protocol deviations. This subject you are going to consider FASFL is equal to Y. FASFL is equal to Y. Full analysis set.
It depends on the plan given, sir.
Where we can find that information? In this document we can find.
Exposure.
EX domain.
You can find that information SCFP statistical analysis plan. Based on that we are going to write the code. It can be cumulative dose. It can be number of visits. It can be any test result. Okay. This is what we have seen, and after that, remember we started with the treatment variables. What are the treatment variables we have seen so far? Arm, ACTOM, and then we have seen TRT XXP, TRT XXPN. What do you mean by TRT XXP? Plan treatment for period XX, plan treatment for period XX numerical, TRT XXA, actual treatment for period XX. Then we have seen actual treatment for period XX numerical. Then we have seen sequence, TR sequence P, PN, A, AN, and then we have seen pooling. We have seen the pooling also. But I told you some treatments we are going to keep into one pool. So instead of looking at individuals, so that we can understand few treatments as in one pooling group, and that we have seen like TR TRXX TGY, TRXX TGYN, TRXX AGY, TRXX AGYN, and then so then we have seen three what you call dose variables and the dose after the dose. So those are the treatment variables we have seen. And after the treatment variables, now we are going to have date variables. So for example, if this is in a study, and I told you, whenever we start the treatment, in SGDM, what is this date is called?
RFSTDC.
RFSTDC. And here we call it as a treatment start date. So if you are taking as a treatment start date character variable, we are going to have TRT SGT. What do you mean by TRT SGT? Treatment start date. Then we are going to have treatment STM, treatment start time. And then we are going to have TRT SDTM, treatment start date and time numerical. Then we are going to have TRT SGTF. What is the TRT? Anybody TRT SGTF?
Date flag.
Date imputation flag. Start date imputation flag. Then we are going to have TRT STMF, start time imputation flag. Okay. Now in the same way, now we are going to have what we are going to have. We know that in SGDM we have RFA and ADSL, which is nothing but the treatment and date. Now we are going to have TRT EDT, treatment and date. Then we are going to have TRT ETM, treatment and time. Then we are going to have TRT EDTM. What is the TRT EDTM? Treatment end date and time numerical. Then we are going to have TRT EDTF, end date imputation flag. Then we are going to have TRT ETMF, end time imputation flag. Understand? Now I told you, now we can divide one study into multiple treatments. Okay, we can have multiple treatments. Say for example, if it is in a crossover study, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start first one treatment. Say for example, I'm giving the drug A first, drug A, and after a few days, I'm giving the drug B. Again, after a few days, I'm giving drug C, like that. Now tell me how many treatments I have in my study now. In one arm, we have three treatments. This is one treatment. So this is the second treatment. This is the third treatment. So how we can say, I told you, this is going to be, TRXXP. That XX is going to be TRT01P, plant treatment. Then we are going to have, TRT02P. And I told you, this is going to be TRT03P. And after that, I told you, we are going to have an actual also, TRT01A. Then we are going to have, TRT02A, and this is going to be TRT03A. Now, what we should do for each treatment, for example, if you take the TRT01A, which is an actual treatment A. Now, what you mean by treatment A started? Which one is the treatment A started? This one, right? So this is called now TR01 STT. Treatment 1 started. And then it is going to be what?
TR02
01 candidate and 01 EDT, and at the same time, this is going to be the same. The next day, what I'm going to do? TR02 STT. And then this is going to be what? TR02 EDT. And at the same time, the next day is going to be TR03
STT.
Okay. Now, in the same way, and this is going to be what now? TR03 EDT. Let's imagine how many treatments you can have in this way. Theoretically,
99.
you can have 99 treatments. Remember, this we are going to have only when we have a crossover study. When we have a multiple treatments in one arm, if the subject is crossing from one arm to another arm, one treatment, another arm, and another treatment during the study, how many treatments we have? Those many, treatments that we are going to have here. Now, not only what is this TR01 SDT? Treatment 01 start date. Now, what we should have after that one? You only tell me what we should have. TR01 STM. Then we should have TR01
SDTM.
We should have TR01 SDTM. Then we should have
TR01 SDTF.
SDTF. Then we should have TR01 STMF. And again, what we are going to have now for end date, we are going to have the flags. Sorry, for end date, we are going to have again what we are going to have now. Here we should have what we should have here. TR01 ETM end time, end date and time, end date imputation flag, end time imputation flag. So to explain this one, what is that general sequence I can write? TRXX SDT, TRXX STM, TRXX SDTM, then TRXX SDTF, TRXX STMF. So that means now we can have 3 into these 515 variables, because in this study I have 3 start dates, isn't it? It can be 01, 02, 03. So in the same way, next what we are going to have now? We are going to have a TRXX EDT, TRXX EDM, then TRXX EDTM, then TRXX EDTF, then TRXX EDMF. This is how we can have. Understand this concept, everybody? Treatment 01 started, treatment 02 started, treatment 3 started, and treatment 1 like start time, treatment 2 start time, treatment 3 start time, like that one we can have. Now, after that, now what we are going to have now? Now we are going to have the next, I told you in the last class, so now, here I am going to take the same example here. Now tell me, in this study, how many treatments I have? 3 treatments, right?
3 treatments.
Treatment A, treatment B, and treatment C. Now within a one treatment, now we can have a periods. So for example, this is a treatment A. In the treatment A, I have, say for example, period 1, now I can have a period 2, and then I can have period 3. This way, you can have 99 periods in one treatment. Now how we can tell that one? Now we are going to have, to explain the treatments, we are going to have analysis period XX start date. Now ఒక treatment ఎన్ని periods ఉండొచ్చు ఇప్పుడు 99 periods ఉండొచ్చు అన్నమాట. Then we are going to have analysis period XX start time. Analysis period XX SDTM. Okay. Then we are going to have analysis period XX SDTF. Then what you are going to have? Analysis period XX STMF, time imputation flag. Again, for each period we are getting the start dates. At the same time, for what we should do, for each period we should get the end date values. Analysis period XX EDT, analysis period XX EDM, then analysis period XX EDTM, then analysis period XX EDTF, then analysis period XX ETMF. Now, within a period, now we can have a sub-period. So for example, this is the one period. Within a period, now we can have 9 sub-periods. We can have 9 sub-periods. Now for each sub-period, we should have a date values. Say for example, now period XX, sub-period W, start date. Now, period XX, subperiod W, STM, start time, and period XX, subperiod W, SDTM. But if SDTM, what is the length of the variable now?
9.
9. So I told you if you have a 9, what I should do?
Remove the penultimate.
Penultimate. Last but one. Now SDM. Now, period XX, subperiod W, SDTF. If you write SDTF, it is going to be what? 8 imputation flag, but 9, the length is going to be 9. So you should write SDF. Then you should write period XX, subperiod W, STMF, start time imputation flag. Now, we should remove that penultimate one, STMF. This is how we should write it. And again, in the same way, next what we are going to have now? We are going to have information about we are going to have end dates. So we are going to have period XX, subperiod W, end date, end time, end date and time, end date imputation flag, end time imputation flag. Okay. Now, within the subperiod, now we can have a phase. Now, how many phases that we can have? I don't remember. We can have, if I say W, how many phases that we can have now?
9.
9 phases.
9.
We are going to have 9 phases. So analysis phase we can have. Now we are going to have PHW SDT phase 1 start date, PHW STM phase start time. Then we are going to have PHW SDTM start date and time. Then we are going to have PHW SDTF. Then we are going to have PHW STMF. And then in the same way, we are going to have what we are going to have now. We are going to have phase end date, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, like that end date. Then we are going to have end time, end date and time, end date imputation flag, end time imputation flag. So that means how we can divide our study. Say for example, this is my overall study. Okay, this is my overall study. Within the study, what we can have now? We can have number of sub-studies. Otherwise, we can have number of treatments. So for example, in this example, I'm taking with a one study, I'm taking the 2 treatments. Okay, I'm taking 2 treatments. So this is going to be TRT01 and this is going to be TRT02. Now within the treatment, that what we can have now? We can have the periods. Say for example, I'm taking only one treatment. Now in the treatment, say for example, I'm taking two periods. Say for example, this is in this way, how many periods that we can have now? We can have 99 periods. Okay, this is period 1 and this is period 2. Now tell me, within a period, how many sub-periods that we can have now? Now within one period, we can have 99 sub-periods. I am taking only 2 sub-periods in this example. Sub-period 1 and this is sub-period 2. Now tell me that we can have 9 sub-periods. Now within the sub-period now, what we can have now? Phases. How many phases that we can have now? We can have 9 phases. Okay, and this is called phase. This is how we can divide our study, how deep we can go into our study. Clear, everybody?
Sir.
Once you're done with the start dates and end dates up to the phase, now we are going to have very important, subject level trial experience variables. Subject subject level trial experience variables. What are the subject level trial experience variables that we have? What is the end of the study status? We are going to have EOSSTT, which means end of study status. So by the end of the study, what is the status of the subject? Is it still continuing and is completed? Then we are going to have the status. Then we are going to have EOSDT. It means end of study day. End of study date. So when the study got over. And then we are going to have DCS REAS, which means reason for discontinuation. The subject has been discontinued. Why from the study? What is the reason? Why he has been discontinued? Is it because of adverse event? Is it like because of like his own consent? Because of like he met the endpoint criteria? Because of protocol deviations? Because of the death? And we should write the reason for discontinuation. If the subject has been discontinued from the study, and then we are going to have DCS REASP. Reason specific for discontinuation from the study. If you have any sub-reason, you should write the sub-reason. Why the subject? Okay, why the subject has been discontinued from the study. If you have any specific reason, and you should write the specific reason specific for discontinuation from the study. So now we discussed so far for overall study. I told you within the study what we are going to have. Treatment. Now we are going to dive into treatment level. Then the next level that we are going to have is EOT STT. Now end of the treatment status. End of the treatment status. So now first we discuss about the end of the study. Now within the study we are going to have multiple treatments. Now what is the status of the treatment? And then we are going to have reason for discontinuation. DCT-REAS. Reason for the discontinuation of the treatment. Reason for discontinuation from the treatment. Now, then we are going to have DCT-REASP. Reason specific. Specific for the discontinuation from the study. Okay. We know that we are going to have a number of treatments now. Then we are going to have, EOT-XX STT. End of the treatment status for period XX. So we are going to have number of periods. Now we are going to get the EOP-XX STT. So because in the treatment we are going to have periods, now we should write about the period. And then what we are going to have now? We are going to have reason for the discontinuation from the period. We are going to have specific reason for discontinuation from the period. And then we are going to have TCP, XX, RSP. Reason specific for the discontinuation of the period. Okay. Now, and after that, we are going to have RFICDT. And we can find RFICDT information, remember? DM domain, right? Remember how we got into the DM domain? From where we got into the DM domain? We can get from the disposition data set. We have seen in the last class also, if the DS term is equal to informed consent, if DS cat is equal to protocol milestone, whatever the DS SDDC date that we have, that is nothing but informed consent date. But in the DM domain or in DS status, it is going to be in character data, and here we should have RFICDT only, which means informed consent date numerical. And then we are going to have ENRLFL, ENRLDT, enrollment date. So when we submitted that informed consent, That the same date is going to be enrollment date also. Then we are going to have RAND-DT, randomization date. Now, this is my study. I started, first of all, we have taken the informed consent, and then we did the screening. And after the screening, who was eligible for my study, now I kept for some time in the running, and then I started, treatment. Somewhere I started here treatment. After a few days of the treatment, now I did some research. Now I came to know that if I add some other treatment, some other drug to the current drug, so it is going to be more effective. So that we call it as an add-on study. So that means we are going to add some other drug to current treatment. When we have such kind of deviations from our study, now again what we should do, we have something adding to our study. In the scenario, again, what we should do, you have to take informed consent again from the subject. So that means now tell me how many informed consent we are going to have in this study now? 2 informed consents. So very, very important question. Are we going to collect multiple informed consents from the subject? Yes. If you are adding any new treatment to the current existing treatment or existing study, for each new treatment, we have to take informed consent. Now, since there is a chance of having a multiple informed consents, how to collect the information? Now we are going to have a variable called, RFICYDT. What is one date of informed consent? Y. So that means how many informed consent that we can take theoretically now?
9.
29. But when we have a single digit, we should not adding this. I told you, when we have a small y.
Okay.
Now in the same way, now we are going to have multiple enrollments also. Then what we are going to have now? We are going to have ENRLY-DT. If you have multiple enrollments, then you should take that date. That means you can have 99 enrollments. In the same way, for each one again we are going to randomize it, RANDY-DT. So randomization date Y. Date of randomization Y. Now we are going to have the next variable, which is LST ALV-DT, last known contact date, or date of last known alive. So when the subject came to the study for the last time, so the recent date, the subject has been attended for the clinical study, and that is going to be, what it is going to be? It is going to be LST ALV-DT. Okay, and then we are going to have a treatment compliance, so TRCMP. How much the subject has got the treatment compliance? So that means how closely he is following the treatment. So again, from the deviation data set, we are going to determine the percentage of the treatment compliance percentage. Is he following 100% followed, or 90% or 80%? We are going to have that one. Okay. And then we are going to have treatment compliance group wise, TR, CMP, GY. So for example, I have a subject who followed 19%, somebody followed 97, or somebody followed the 91%. In that scenario, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put together all the subjects into one group. And one subject followed 88%, one is 84, and 82 and 81. I want to keep all the 80% into one group. So if you're pooling together the compliance, now we should create a TRCMP-GY. And then the next one that we are going to have TRCMP-GY numerical. Then we are going to have treatment excess duration in number of days. So for example, I told you here we have a number of treatments. What is the duration of each treatment? And you should write the duration in number of days, and you should write the treatment excess duration in number of months, duration in months. Then we are going to have TRXX duration years. Okay. Now, then we are going to have, when we have sub-treatments, we are going to have this one. Now, what is the overall treatment duration? TRT duration in days. And then we are going to have TRT duration in months. Then we are going to TRT duration in years. Then we are going to have important variable death date, DTH, DT, and this information we collect from the DM domain. And again, into the DM domain in SCDM, we collected from the disposition. So, but there it was a character variable. Now we are going to create a numerical variable, which is DTH, DT. Death date numerical. And then we are going to have DTH, FL, death flag. And again, from where we can get this one? Sorry, we are going to DTH, DFL. You know what is this DTH, DFL? Death date imputation flag. If you have any missing data, incomplete data in the death data, we are going to create a flag for that one. Then we are going to have DTH REAS, reason for the death. DTH CAUS, cause for the death or death cause. Then we are going to have DTH CAUSN. Now the response is going to tell you if it is a cardiac arrest 1, if it is in a respiratory problem 2, and if it is in a gastrointestinal 3, or if it is in a cancer 4, if it is anything other 5, unknown 6, he will tell some numerical values based on the parenting if condition. We are going to create a numerical variable. Death cause N. Then we are going to create a DTH death cause group wide. Then the sponsor will tell you if it is in a cardiac or respiratory, keep it as in one group. If it is in a oncology, any cancer, keep it in a 2. If you have anything other than that, keep it in a 3. Now we are going to pull together all the death causes. Then what we are going to have now? We are going to have DTH CGRY numerical, death cause group by numerical. Understand this one? So these are the variables that we are going to have in ADSL. Okay. So what I am recommending you by the next class, please go through that all the important variables. So if you go through that variables, so if you, I don't ask you to by heart all the variables, but get the familiarity with all the variables. Please write it down maybe 5 to 10 times. If you do that one, you will get some familiarity. Now then what we can do now, we can start writing the code for ADSL. This time we will write the ADSL code by using a specification. Understand everybody? So now right now I am going to upload that ADSL code. Okay, I'm going to upload the ADSL code to the WhatsApp group. Okay, please download those ADaM guidelines and the PPT that I'm going to send you. Okay, and give it a read by the next class. Clear, everyone? Okay. You guys are going to come for the next tomorrow? What's class పెడుతున్నానండి 7 o'clock class, but that was the problem. And 10 people, they called me and they said they do not want to have a class and others want to have a class. What should I do? Anyway, that's fine. I'm going to upload the document. Please go through the document, okay? So next class is going to be on what day? You're going to come on Tuesday, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Very good. See you on Tuesday.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Happy Diwali, sir.
Me too. I'm very happy. Prosperous. Joyful Diwali.
Happy Diwali, sir.
Wish you the same.